Hey guys, this is Julian of Julian Gray Media. This video is actually inspired by a poll I put up on Twitter. I think I'm going to actually start doing these weekly so you guys can help me decide what you want to see in the next week's video. If you don't follow me on Twitter, make sure to do so. My link is in the description of this video. Today's video is going to be making a legato lead like you'd hear in Future Bass or Electro in X for Serum. Let's hop into the studio and get started. Awesome guys, so we're just going to start with a default live set here. Now you can see that my default set is a little bit customized. We have a master chain that we're going to delete. If you're interested in learning how to create a customized default set so that it loads every time you load Ableton, make sure to click on the link above me right now and go to the video where I explain how to do so. But we're just going to go in one MIDI channel here and we're going to actually load up Serum. Let's go in here and let's go to Xfer and we're going to load up Serum 64-bit. Awesome guys, so as you can see I have loaded up Serum and this is the preset we're going to be making today. Let me just give you guys a listen to the sound so you know what you're in for before going through this tutorial. Here we go. So as you can see, when it's in that lower key, it kind of gives an electro bass vibe. If we take it up a little bit though, we kind of get the future bassy sound. Okay, so let's actually start designing this sound here. As you can see, there's not much to it. It's actually a very simple sound to make. Hyper, chorus, compressor, reverb, and just a default wavetable here. So we're actually going to start from scratch. And what we're actually going to do is leave this intact. We're actually not going to mess with this very much. This sound here, the default saw, is something that we're going to build off of. The first thing we're going to do is actually grab the hyper dimension tool. We're going to turn the mix down a little bit. We're going to turn the dimension up, the hyper mix I should say, and then that kind of gives it that space we just heard. Gives the illusion of multiple unison, but we aren't actually using more than one voice. We're only using one voice. A voice, as you can hear, would make it sound a little bit more like a super saw. And we don't want that. We want a legato single note lead. But this kind of gives it the width of the multiple unison. So next thing we're going to do is load up a chorus. We can actually play around with these effects a little bit here. And again, that's kind of giving it a little bit of a wider sound. What we're going to do now is load up the compressor. This is actually what's going to give the sound that nice high-ended feel. We're going to load up a multi-band. Give the mids a little bit of a boost here, and the lows. Maybe a little bit of the highs as well. And then we're actually going to give it a overall gain boost. Now you want to make sure that you're not coming out too loud, so we're going to turn the master volume in Serum here down a little bit. And then we have almost the sound that we're looking for. Let's hop over to the oscillator tab again, because we're going to do some stuff with the LFOs. So what gives this sound that really cool, interesting progression is the vibrato on the latter half of the sound. To accomplish that, we're actually going to drag in LFO 1 to the fine tune, and we're actually going to assign the LFO here to a sine wave. So we get this very nice wobbly effect. We're going to set the rate to 16th notes. That's typically what you hear when you hear a vibrato. It's a faster vibrato, but it's still on rhythm. If you want to get really technical, you can probably go into the frequency of the actual rate of the LFO here and start playing with that. But we're going to keep it at 16th notes for now. What we're actually going to do now is set the rise amount. This is what allows the sound to start off with no vibrato, but then build into the vibrato as the sound progresses. To do that, we're just going to turn this up. I'm actually going to use a half bar. So as you can hear, when the sound starts, it just starts as that saw wave, and as it goes, it builds up into that vibrato. One of the last things we're going to do is actually add a legato effect, which is this portamento here. Now, if you don't know what portamento is, it's the glide between notes. If you hold one note and then go to the next one, it's the amount of time it takes to fade between the two notes. It's the glide effect, if you will, that makes one note blend into the next one. You want this at about a little bit under 50%, maybe 90 milliseconds. And there you go, you have yourself a legato lead. If you want to take this one step further though, we can take the filter here, turn it down, turn the resonance down, and add a second LFO here. Maybe we'll do a generic triangle looking shape here, and maybe we'll do an eighth note, maybe a 16th note. So basically what we're doing now is we're making this evolve. So when this knob here is at its lowest, it's a plucky sound, and when it hits the top, it is that full saw sound. You can kind of play around with this. It's just an idea to add a little bit more depth to your song and your sound. So as you can see, I loaded up a MIDI from a track I was working on a while ago and never finished. I have these chords playing here just to accompany the sound a little bit here. And then I have a legato version of the top note playing here. And then we can kind of get an idea of the practical use of this sound. Let's give that a listen. And there you go, that is the preset we made today. If you guys want to download this preset, I'm going to put a tone den link down below where you can follow one of my social profiles, whatever I decide for it to be, so you guys can download this preset for yourself. If you don't want to download it, you can actually just watch this video and follow it step by step and learn how to make the sound and make it for yourself. That is perfectly fine as well. I do hope you subscribe to the channel. I make a video every Wednesday and Friday. I am Julian of Julian Gray Media. Make sure to follow my Twitter and vote on what you want to see on this channel. And I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.